The NBA has the most electrifying plays in the world because of one thing: the fact that basketball players have absurd athleticism. This athleticism allows players to soar through the air for dunks, leap across the key to deny shots, and opens the door for a classic sports question. How unreal would these guys be if they step foot onto an NFL field? And before we get going, guys, I am excited to say that this video is sponsored by Current. We're going to talk about Current in a little bit, but for now, so yes, what's up guys, Mike here, and get ready to watch some shocking footage of some of your favorite NBA players actually dominating on a football field. Trust me guys, I was surprised by a lot of these stories, and yes, I did this video 4 or 5 years ago, but I only did 4 players then, and today we've got 5 more. On top of that, personally, I think a lot of these guys are even more impressive than those original 4. Again, the stories are outrageous, but before I continue, I just want to say, please leave a like on this video. It helps me out so much with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe and turn on post notifications if you're new so you never miss a video. Saying that, let's jump into this and start with number 5, Anthony Edwards. Standing in at 6'4" or 6'5", Anthony Edwards would immediately become one of, if not the tallest running backs in NFL history. It is this height combined with his physical frame and athleticism that would make him an absolute monster, and somewhere in an alternate universe, I am sure Anthony Edwards is indeed playing in the NFL right now. The reason I say this is that football was actually Anthony's first love, and he was just as dominant on the football field as he is on a basketball court. Anthony himself has told the media, "I could have been a professional football player. I was really good. I was the #1 running back in the country at 9 or 10. I stopped playing because I seen my brothers playing basketball. I thought it looked more fun." Yes, you heard that right, and as you watch the highlights, you can see there was a point where Anthony Edwards was the #1 running back for his age in the entire country. And sure, while several childhood stars do fail as they get older, I'd be willing to bet on a child star who later became the #1 pick in the NBA draft. So yes, while he may have changed positions with his height, he might also have stayed a running back, as Brandon Jacobs was a 6'4" running back for the Giants, so it is possible. Regardless of what position he played though, with his early excellence on the football field combined with his jaw-dropping physical stats, his college coach Tom Crean would actually say this about Anthony, quote, "We vertical jump tested the other day, and with no training, he jumped 42 inches. We do a bike sprint test at the end of a full workout. How quick can you get a half mile in on a stationary bike? And he gets it in 50 seconds. Our strength coaches have never seen anything like it." So with those words and with everything said, you can be sure that if he did stick with football, it is very possible that Anthony Edwards would have reached the heights he has reached as an NBA athlete, just as, like I said before, potentially the tallest NFL running back in NFL history. But guys, before we continue, as I said before, today's video is sponsored by Current. Now guys, on this channel, as you know, we talk about the future a lot. We talk about the future of NBA players' careers, who's going to become an all-star, who's going to win the 2021 NBA championship. And as for Current, well, Current is the future of banking. Because if you did not know, Current is a mobile, real bank with a Visa debit card that is going to save you money, and I'm about to tell you how. Have you ever spent more in your bank account than you have and gotten charged by your bank? Well, Current has you covered with a free overdraft up to $100. Are you tired of taking out money and paying ATM fees? Those certainly add up a ton. Current has over 55,000 free ATMs. Do you want to earn points on your purchases and redeem them for cash? Current, of course, has that, and they are the only ones doing it. On top of this, Current has no hidden fees, no minimum balance requirement. Signing up for Current takes less than 2 minutes, and your card ships for free. So make sure to click the link in the description of this video or on the pinned comment of this video and sign up for Current and start saving money right now. Trust me guys, Current is awesome. You're not going to regret it. And for now, let's continue on with today's video. Number 4, Jimmy Butler. When playing for Team USA, Jimmy Butler was asked who in the NBA could play in the NFL.
On this team right now, which players realistically could be in the NFL and why?
Me. Like, I'm very serious. It'd be me because I'm fast and I have great hands. I can really catch.
As you can see, Jimmy certainly believed in himself. So much so that he also said this.
I could probably take Demaryius Thomas' spot, Antonio Brown's spot.
Which was probably a stretch, and his teammates justifiably replied with,
"He's an idiot. Jimmy's an idiot.
Jimmy!
Jimmy, you're an idiot."
I think he's absurd.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
But all in all, I do believe it is completely reasonable to believe that Jimmy could have been an NFL player. For one thing, standing at 6'6" and 222 pounds with a 39-inch vertical leap in the NBA draft combine, Jimmy certainly compares well to star wide receivers such as 6'1", 212-pound Devontae Adams, who had a 39.5-inch vertical, and 6'1", 202-pound Justin Jefferson, who had a 37.5-inch vertical. So athletically, a prime Jimmy Butler would be right there with some of the NFL's top receivers, and then if you factor in that he is again 6'6", Calvin Johnson by comparison was only 6'5", it is possible Jimmy Butler could have emerged as a nightmare on the football field. And what's even more impressive here is that Antonio Brown, who is friends with Jimmy and has spent plenty of time playing football with him, actually said this, quote, "Jimmy loves football. He's always running routes with me. He always wants to cover me. He's in great shape, can run all day, extremely fast. The guy's a competitor. That's what makes him great. I think he's got what it takes to be a receiver. I don't know if he's willing to get hit a lot, but he loves the game of football. He could do it if he wants." So while some of Jimmy Butler's Team USA teammates were clowning on him because he believed that he was better than Demaryius Thomas, if I'm being honest here, I'm going to take the word of Antonio Brown, who believes that Jimmy could have played NFL football. I mean, it's Antonio Brown. I think he knows what he's talking about. Number 3, Zion Williamson. Now, this doesn't really need to be said, but let's say it anyway. Zion Williamson is an absolute freak of an athlete. Coach K has gone on record and said that Zion broke a Duke record with a 45-inch vertical leap, which is of course made all the more impressive because Zion is 6'6" and 280 pounds. Also, according to his high school coach, Zion can throw a football 70 yards, a seemingly outrageous claim until you watch the videos that are currently playing on the screen in front of you. And yes, Zion did play football as a kid before giving it up for basketball, and he's also told Shannon Sharp that,
"Do you believe you could have made it to the NFL as an NFL player?"
Yeah, I believe I could. Yeah, I believe I could.
Hold on. So what are you going to play?
I think I would need to do tight end and receiver. One of those two.
Now, if Zion was a wide receiver, that would be ridiculous, but it's more likely he would be a tight end or defensive lineman, and with the kind of athleticism he has alone, Zion has actually drawn attention from top-level football programs. Because after watching his high school basketball highlights, LSU coach Eric Mateos actually offered Zion a football scholarship to LSU just based on his potential alone. Mateos would also say, "I thought, hell, why not? He's probably the best tight end to ever live. And he's explosive, he's powerful, he can change directions, and he has incredible body control. I honestly believe that if he entered the NFL draft this year being the year that Zion came out of college, some team is drafting him in the first round just based on potential alone." And the thing is, Eric Mateos is not the only one with this belief, as Saints coach Sean Payton has said that if he surveyed his staff on who would like a chance to develop Williamson, quote, "There'd be 5 position coaches with their hands up right now, starting with the defensive line coach and the tight end coach." Which again is no surprise because we've seen the havoc that Zion has wreaked on a basketball court, and that kind of physicality would translate perfectly to football. Side note here, just to show you even more of Zion's all-around dominance in sports in general, here's a quote from his high school coach who said, "I also witnessed him hit a baseball over 400 feet. He was just messing around on a baseball field and he said, 'Let me hit one.' And he hit the thing over the fence about 400 feet. Guys, is there anything this man cannot do?" Number 2, Jalen Suggs. Yes, I know. Jalen Suggs is not in the NBA just yet, but he will be one of the top picks in the 2021 NBA draft, and so I'm star. Yes, Jalen was seen as a top 10 basketball recruit in high school, but he was also seen as the number 2 football recruit in the entire state of Minnesota and was the number 15 dual threat quarterback in the country, which is actually no surprise because Jalen is second cousins with former NFL star Terrell Suggs, so football is certainly in his blood. And trust me when I say, on the football field, Jalen was able to use his athleticism to completely dominate. At quarterback, Jalen was able to use his speed and shiftiness to evade tackles and run with the football in a way that few high school quarterbacks can. This led to 12 rushing touchdowns as a senior, and he also showcased a cannon of an arm as he also threw threw for over 2,000 yards and 25 touchdowns. Meanwhile, as a junior, he also led his team to a state championship victory, and then as a senior, his team lost in the state finals. So yeah, Jalen Suggs is more than legit because we have to remember, who knows what could have happened. It's very easy to think that Jalen would have dramatically increased his skills and would have been an even higher profile recruit. He very well could have had the same success on the football field that he's had on the basketball court. And even with most of his time dedicated to basketball, Jalen was still offered football scholarships to some big time schools in Ohio State, Georgia, Iowa, Iowa State, Michigan State, Minnesota, and Nebraska. Oh, and by the way, Jalen did not only play quarterback, but he was a two-way player and racked up 9 interceptions on defense his senior year, returning 2 of those for touchdowns. The man was very much a football star and is probably the biggest what-if story on this list. With that said though, he is about to be a top 5 pick in the draft, so it looks like he made the right decision. And number 1, Rajon Rondo. We are going to start off the final section of this video by watching another video.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Look at this.
Oh!
If you missed what happened, we can slow it down and you'll see that Rondo, standing on the 10-yard line, throws a bomb of a pass that lands in whatever this is, and Drew Brees says he's never seen anyone do that before. And what's crazy about this to me is that this is not the first time that Rajon Rondo has impressed other football players and athletes in general with his throwing arm. Rondo grew up as a quarterback and even played football his freshman year in high school, but then, sensing that he was a better basketball player, he, like everyone else on this list, went all in on basketball and never looked back. But what if he had chosen football instead? Well, when asked if he could have played professional football, Rondo replied with,
Could you have played professional football?
I think I could have played.
You could have played.
Could have gave it a shot, yeah. I mean, quarterback, point guard, pretty much the same thing.
As you can see, Rondo did not take this question lightly, but his answer does make sense. During his time in the NBA, Rajon has established himself as the ultimate floor general and someone with incredible basketball IQ and court vision. These skills would translate very well over to the quarterback position, where he would be required to read defenses. On top of this, and the cannon of a throwing arm that we've already seen he has, a young and in his prime Rajon Rondo was fast. So fast that at one point in time, he went coast to coast for a layup against the Jazz in 3.8 seconds. That is fast, and at the time, Rondo actually said that he could run the 40-yard dash in 3.9 seconds. He was, in fact, so confident that he could do this that he challenged NFL running back Chris Johnson, a man who ran a record-breaking 4.24 second 40 time during the 2008 NFL Draft Combine, to a race for $2,000. Now, this race never happened, and even if Rondo was being a little too confident with his speed here, we can all agree that the man was fast, and if you combine that speed with his ability to read the floor, well, I've got to say, Rajon Rondo certainly has a great case for being a high-level dual-threat quarterback. With that said, guys, we are done with this video, and I want to give a few honorable mentions right now. Just for starters, I only did current NBA players plus Jalen Suggs, which meant Matt Barnes, Ben Wallace, Nate Robinson, and J.R. Smith were not on this list, but they easily could have been. Also, Russell Westbrook could have been on this list, but there was no great footage for him, so I went with Rajon Rondo instead. Other than that, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe and turn post notifications on. It helps me out a ton, and also that way you never miss a video. And guys, I do want to remind you to right now go click the link in my description, go and get yourself a Current Black Premium card, because as we've already said, Current is the future of banking and is going to save you a lot of money. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting. You're awesome, we all know it, and as always, have an awesome day, guys, and cue that music. If you're still here while the music is cued, here are 2 videos I think you are definitely going to enjoy. Make sure to click on one of them. Again, I know you're gonna love it, and other than that, have a great day and peace.